everyone, and welcome back to the Hardcore Cottagecore Let's Play. Between the start of this episode and the end of the last one, I decided to actually make a path to connect our starter house to the village. This will just make traveling a little bit easier going from place to place, especially where, as you can see, I've cut through the melon field a little bit, because before I was kind of going around the whole barn or behind the windmill sometimes, so this is just a little bit more of a direct route that probably only cuts off like 2 seconds, but still. It's very useful for cases when I actually have my horse with me. And speaking of horses, or horse-resembling creatures, I really do need to set up some kind of tester for these guys to test their speeds. So I think today we're actually going to start off with a little bit of redstone, which half of the people are probably excited for and the other half are not. But it actually begins with me needing some cobwebs, of all things. So let's just hope that I haven't actually taken all of them from down here. I know I've snatched a lot of them for making candles, because, you know, priorities. Although it looks like there is plenty in this section. My goal is to have like 10-ish, because this will be what we use to kind of slow down the donkeys, which I think makes the tester a little bit more accurate, but I have no idea. I've completely winged this design just based off of clips that I've seen. And yeah, there's so many, I'm actually going to take like as many as I can get, pretty much. And you know what, while I'm here, I'm gonna just grab a little bit of lava, because I've got quite a lot of unsmelted copper back home that I really should do something about if I want to actually build with it. But anyways, in our redstone chest here, the materials that I need are actually gonna be pretty simple, I think. I just need a couple of pressure plates, a few bamboo planks, to make just 2 pistons, and a bunch of fences, which, surprisingly, oak is the one that I have the most of. And then I'll also borrow a few stairs, as well as maybe some oak trapdoors, just to make sure we're able to decorate this thing properly. I've also just remembered that I forgot a crucial part of this, which is the actual measurement system, which involves a hopper and a chest, and basically just a lot of one item, which I guess could be kelp, actually. And then I'm just gonna set up a big track right here, not a very pretty one, but just one that is basically cobwebs, so it will not be very well fit into this place. But it will be useful, and that's the important part. And I'm just gonna have a pressure plate on each side, and we'll actually make this entrance a little bit fancier. Although actually this won't work, will it? I was aiming for it to be kind of like a trellis, but I don't know how much it actually covers it up or blends it at all. But you know, just any little bit will help us out. And then this side I think I can get away with leaving blank because it fades into this hillside we've got here. And now this is going to be the expensive bit. I'll actually have to take down my beautiful trellis thing a little bit, just enough to run a redstone signal. Right like that. Actually, I might be able to keep this, but I forgot how noisy this is going to be. You know what, we're gonna deal with it, it's fine. Or I could have them 1 block out. This might save me from that constant clacking. So all I need is a redstone line running to the middle, where I vaguely understand how this is going to work. So it's just going to be powering the pistons. There we go. The most expensive part is actually going to be making a block of redstone for this thing. So yeah, that'll power that, and it'll just move a block in front of the hopper we've got here. We want this one to push it over here to unblock the hopper. So we want the hopper to be located right here. And then this will put it into a chest, say, I guess right here. So then once it finishes it, it'll lock it again, and that will be good. We can throw our kelp into here, and then this should be all that it needs to be set up. One minor change, I might just move this down 1 more block so it's slightly less visible. Yeah, okay, so we'll take our fast horse we've got up there and test his speed. That way we can kind of know what we're aiming for here. Okay, so if I just do this, it kind of takes a while. There we go. And let's see. Okay, so 16 kelp. That's the time to beat right now. And so if we test any one of the donkeys that we have in here, like we'll say this one, I suspect they're going to be much, much slower. Yeah, 27, that actually wasn't super far off. I might have to make this longer for it to be more accurate, or find a faster way of dropping items into that chest. Okay, so I think I've found a better design for this thing. I've used some observers instead, But I think that redstone block was just too slow because now these, when they're facing each other, will put out like the fastest possible signal, I think, which triggers this to dispense items into this chest. Kind of similar to the other one, but I think this one will work a little bit better. Here we go. I believe in you. Let's see, I might have run out of kelp on that one. Oh no, only 60. Okay. And now this guy. Oh, 62. That's actually a good sign, I think. So we know this guy is a very little bit slower than the other one. So now if we start breeding them, we can just take the ones that keep inching higher and higher. And eventually, maybe by the end of this series, we'll have a decently fast donkey. And I actually do have some apples, so I'm going to grow this guy up real quick to test him out. Oh my gosh, no, please. Oh no. Oh no, this is bad. Oh, that was tragic. I can't believe that was the first donkey of the day. Yeah, so, alright. I'll keep working on that once I'm able to again. I can't believe that he spawned in the wall. That was a little bit crazy, but anyways, at least I have more leather to make saddles now, right? And completely pivoting from that, I had someone suggest a name for this golem here, and they said Poppy, which is on the nose, and I love it. So we're gonna get her unstuck, and then I'll just give you a name. Lovely. I was waiting for her to turn green until I could wax her, but that hasn't happened yet. But now she's got a proper name, and it's so cute, and she keeps falling off of this cart. I might have to make her a better way to get up there, actually. Maybe on this side. Maybe I'll just scoot this cat over a little bit, and then I'll give you like a little staircase, right? Yeah, that's better. Alright. Although, did you put the melons in the other chest? I can't believe they can squeeze through this door and villagers can't. But anyways, we've got this donkey tester all sorted. And another thing from last episode that I need to fix is the actual border to the gatehouse. Last episode I tried to do the carpet thing, but that apparently does not work. So instead I need some berries. And I think the closest point to get them is really far away over where we saw, I think it was a mega taiga last episode, since there aren't going to be any berries in the mountaintops here, like I was kind of hoping, and then I checked and there were not, so we're going to have to ride all the way over there to grab some berries, which I would have needed to do anyway because I do want to use them in today's build a little bit, for some decoration in plant boxes and stuff. Let's see, we're passing all of the horses that I tamed last time, and then just kind of left. There's actually so many out here, oh my gosh. Wait, in the distance, is that spruce? There we go, it was. Okay, these shouldn't be too difficult to find. What the heck, this horse keeps getting stuck on this one tree trunk. Oh, and also they have the cold variants here, of all the animals. Oh, maybe I could bring some chickens back with me. Well, you know what I should do, actually, is go and get a happy gas. Because then I could just transport animals from anywhere. But yeah, 25 berries, that should be plenty. Especially, I could definitely set up a farm for them back home, somewhere protected, ideally. Because we all know how animals can be with those. There's lots of sheep around, but I really just want some chickens. Ask and you shall receive, I suppose. Now, if you would like to lay any eggs for me, so I don't have to actually drag you all the way back to my house. Oh, and there's foxes! That definitely is not an activity for today. Oh, but look, there's all kinds of baby ones. Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, they're kind of dramatic, aren't they? Oh wait, actually, don't kill my chickens, though. That's probably why they spawned, because there was all kinds of chickens here. Yeah, that's a little bit ominous, right? Maybe I do need to take one back with me, just to save it from getting taken by the fox. Come on, little guy, you're safe. For now, at least. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, that actually wasn't that bad. We're already almost home. I don't even think it's been like 10 minutes. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that I got a cold variant chicken. They just look so fluffy and fuzzy. Definitely much better than the regular boring chickens. I thought there was one around here I could stare at menacingly, but I guess not. I do want to find a good home for this little guy. I just don't really know where that would be at the moment. I haven't really set up another farmhouse quite yet. Oh, but underneath the cart is not the place for you. Let's see, maybe I'll just put him in a small little pasture right here for now. There we go. It's very, very rough right now. I made it using stuff that I stole from the village, so kind of mismatch, but I don't think he can escape. We could actually test that, I suppose, right now. Here, buddy, do you want it? Oh, you laid an egg. That's so nice of you. There you go. Okay, so I don't think he'll be able to come out. And let's see, can we do this first try? Nope. Alright, well, maybe I just wasn't ready for the responsibility of 2 chickens. But before I put the berry bushes in, I just want to test these donkeys, maybe. Yeah, there you go. Okay, now don't spawn this one into the wall this time, please. I have limited supply of apples. Okay, well, it's a stubborn one, but I'm sure he'll be grown up by the time I finish doing the berries. Because I do need to get some carpet to go over that, and I think I'm going to use pale moss instead of the regular moss just so that it blends a little bit better. Or actually, I could use some brown carpet, and that might work better. And I do have both cocoa beans and sheep, so this shouldn't be too difficult. And also, yes, this is the current state of my cocoa bean farm. It's fine, it works, don't judge. I really should only need about 2 dye, although I did make some more green dye, and I do want a couple more green sheep for today, so we'll use those as well. Okay, you can be green, and you can be green, and then a couple of you can also be brown. Okay, so if I just make some brown carpet, and then light that over that, it's not really noticeable as much, I don't think. And now nothing should really want to cross it. Like if I do this, do you want the carrot? Come on. Okay, so that works, I think. Now I can leave him to roam free instead of tying him up, because there's only so much space that he could wander, I think. Oh, and our donkey has grown up. Alright, I'll just grab an extra saddle. Now I'm really counting on you, buddy. Alright, there's 60 in there. Did I take the kelp out from before? Not real sure that I did. You know what? We'll run it again. Okay, so it was 60. I forget if that's good or not. I think you were 62. Okay, well, 61 that time. You know what? That's enough cause. I think I'm gonna put you outside of the border here. And then I'll breed the 2 remainders again. What the heck? Did you just walk back in? My dude. Oh, maybe it wasn't you. Maybe it was a different guy. Oh, there's a skeleton though. Rude. Did you walk over? Were you sneaky? You know what? I'm just gonna assume this works. It's probably fine. But now I really should get started on the actual project of the day. And it's going to be in the village, but also not quite. I want to go up to the upper level of the village where I've really blocked it off, and I don't think there's a whole lot up here, except for like a few buildings. But I think that all of the villagers and everything have been taken from here. Or actually, have they? Is there a guy in here? Oh, there is. Interesting. He was not part of my plan today, so I think he's just gonna chill there for a little bit. Because I wanted to come more over by this pen here and do kind of like a wintry themed build. Mainly because I want some goats and possibly some snow golems. And I really shouldn't be just walking out here because there could be powdered snow, but if I just jump across the carpets, it should be okay. I just want to see that there are goats up here. I'm pretty sure that I've seen them before, but just in case. Oh, and there's a cave here. Oh, there are goats. Hello. But yeah, just down there somewhere where it's pretty much still in the village, just kind of separated with it, because I think eventually I'm going to take all those other buildings down that are up here, just so that the village is all on one level and it's kind of easier to contain the villagers, since I do want them to be free roaming, but not too free roaming, and there's just a lot less opportunity for them to get stuck and or mangled if they're on one level. The first material that I need for this is going to be spruce wood, and I also need to kind of flatten this land a little bit, so I might as well do that and clear out a couple of the trees that are around. Oh my gosh, did you know you could put leaves on snow? That's so weird. I mean, they look a little funky, but they completely change color. Although it would be still kind of cool to use for decoration, I suppose. So now our building lot looks a little bit more prepared. I am keeping it at this hilly type of terrain because I was planning for building on the mountain, so I wanted to kind of keep it like that and not have it be completely flat. And even though this is a winter build, one of the things that I need is some moss, which I think that I have at least some left over in here. Ah yes, 54. And I also do have some bricks, but I'll need to smelt a couple more of those as well. And to go along with that brick, I want a little bit of granite, This is going to be for our chimney build, so I wanted something a little bit more weathered. And I might as well use the copper that I've got aging down here, because I do need just a few weathered grates. And to be kind to my future self, I think I am going to restock these. Now while we're waiting for the rest of these to smelt, I had an idea for some sort of Christmassy lights, involving a bunch of different colored buttons. I can use some of the weirder colors, like warped wood, to make them actually bright and colorful and not just, well, wood. So I'll grab some cherry and some acacia, and just make a couple blocks worth of those. Mangrove also obviously is a really good color to use, but I also want to use it in the build for a couple of fences and trapdoors and things, and I really doubt that 10 logs will be enough, because I do need quite a lot of fences and also a lot of trapdoors, two of the most expensive items to make. So I'll attempt to grow a couple of mangroves on my front lawn. I don't think they have any special growing requirements other than just space, and they kind of grow funny. So I think if I just put them, like, out here, they should do something eventually. Oh, and there's a guy coming out of the cave system. Please don't. I've been saying I should cover this up, and I never have. But one of these days a creeper's gonna come and jump scare me, and that'll probably change my mind. Another thing that I wanted to do to make it very winter themed was make use of the pale wood. Now that we have basically a white type of wood, we can use it to make fences and things, and I think these work really, really well as icicles. So I'm going to craft up a bunch of fences and also some fence gates, because I think those work really well together. Oh my gosh, my mangrove tree is grown. I always forget how awkward looking they are. Probably more so on the stony shore, but I mean still, that's ridiculous. I do really like the leaf texture though, so I'm gonna just grab a few of these. Oh my gosh, there's a guy. Hello. Oh, he's selling tall, dry grass. That's actually really good. You know what, of course I don't have any emeralds, but I really want that because you can get all the types of grass from that. Hang on, sir, don't leave yet. I'm just gonna buy a couple bits of tall grass, and I think you can just bone meal them on anything. Yes, perfect. I don't know how you get back the tall grass though. Oh, actually, by doing that, you know what, that makes sense. But this is so good for detailing. Oh, I want to make a farm for it actually, but I don't have the materials at the moment. But I think next episode maybe I'll make some farms for all of our small flowers and stuff, because they aren't difficult to make, I just need to like actually do it. So yeah, and the last couple things I need are actually both from villagers. One of them is green terracotta, and I could easily make that myself, but I almost want to just roll the dice on a villager and just see if he by chance sells green terracotta, because I could also really use the brick trade. That would be pretty helpful. And I think there's been just 2 guys in here for a while, in the pit for villagers, and I don't know why. At one point there was like 10 of them, and I am going to waste a lot of my clay just trading with this guy, just to level him up a little bit. And I'm also going to have a bunch of chiseled stone at the end of this. Oh gosh, does he not even have a terracotta trade? That would be sad. Alright, hang on, let's go through the secret underground tunnel over here. Okay, well I do have a little bit of dorite and some andesite. I might as well trade all of it away. Okay, listen buddy, I'm gonna be trusting you with my entire life savings of andesite. I just need you to give me something good, okay? And we got light blue and cyan. That's close, but not quite. Yeah, I don't really think I'll use, well, I might use cyan terracotta. Just not today, but sometime. I mean, I suppose I can get green terracotta by myself, although I did just trade all of my clay away. That probably wasn't very smart. Let's see, I did find a lush cave a little while ago by chance, in like a different section of this cave that we explored, I think last episode. It's like down here, in this weird waterfall area. I think around this corner. Oh yes, there is. And also it's spider infested, but that's okay. Oh my gosh, I did not venture very far into here, and it's kinda dangerous. I just need a very little bit of clay. Oh my gosh, there's a baby axolotl. I didn't know those spawn naturally. That's so cute. Alright, but anyways, 23 blocks, that should be plenty. Gosh, it's so cozy in here. Except for all the squid that are dying, but there's not much I can do to save them from themselves. Gosh, there's a creeper, but he's kinda stuck there. Hi, friend. You know, I'm just gonna grab a little bit of coal and actually light this up real quick, because it is just a little bit too dangerous for my liking. Oh my gosh, 2 creepers. No thank you. That's so scary, I don't like it. Oh, I don't even have my bow out. You know what, that's my bad. What? That went right through him, you saw. Unbelievable. Oh my gosh, this is such a huge lush cave. I made so many torches and I think I'm gonna run out. And there's a mine shaft? Is this the same one or a different one? Oh my gosh, zombies. You know what, I won't even bother with that part for right now. Okay, well, you know what, we got what we came for. Oh my gosh, now they're advancing on us. It's a good thing they get trapped very easily. Oh, and I did want some of these small drip leaf, which I guess you can't get with Silk Touch. Cheers work though. And I realized the snow-themed episode is not the episode to be getting all of these cute little plants, but somehow that's just how it's all worked out. I also did come in here the other day and light up most of this cave. Oh my gosh, now there's creepers outside too. That is so uncalled for. Anyways, now that we've escaped with our lives, we can go ahead and smelt the terracotta. I also don't think our little axolotl in here has a small drip leaf yet, so I'll just put one in there. This is another thing that also really needs upgrading. Ideally to a tank like 10 times this size, because right now we can't even see the axolotl, but we could technically count getting drip leaf as a step in that direction, right? Why is it whenever I come outside my house, there's people out here? What? And you've killed my llama! Both of them! How could you? What did that llama do to you, huh? Do they attack villagers? Maybe I need llamas to be guarding stuff. I mean, if I had enough of them, I bet they could take down at least one guy. Alright, well, I need to, I guess, start getting more llamas to kind of replenish the stock. Well, anyways, the last thing that we need is a little bit of glass, which I can easily buy off of this guy. Which 46 is way more than enough. Probably didn't need that much. But now we can finally start building today's build, I promise. Oh, and there is a llama out here. I should have kept that carpet on me. Oh well. This build is going to start out with a deep slate base. Not super tall, at least on one side, but I'm thinking in this slope here is where our goat pen will be, so I wanted to have plenty of room for that. But then this little mini section over here is going to be a little bit of a porch. It'll be covered even though I think it's still going to snow here versus rain, so it won't hurt the golems any, but I think it'll be a good little addition on the side. And like I said, it's a lot of deep slate, so I'm basically just going to fill this all in. I will do a little bit of texturing with our smooth deep slate, as well as a few of these bricks, or tiles I think they're actually called. Okay, so that's the deep slate part done, but now we need the actual staircase, and that, unsurprisingly, is also going to be made out of deep slate. Just some more of our tiles, although ideally not upside down. And then we'll use some variations of deep slate in here. And this is the last bit of deep slate, I promise, but just a few bricks to line the little porch doorway. And then I'm going to widen this a little bit with a few dark oak slabs. I was going to do spruce, but I think the dark oak really just matches the tiles better. And then we can put our main beams on here. I want to have 3 bigger sized windows here, so we'll do 2 apart on each side, and then that'll leave a nice 3 big gap in the middle. And I'll do the same spacing on the back, but I don't think there'll actually be any windows here, because I'm also thinking the chimney is going to go right here as well. The walls are going to be mostly oak. On this back side here where we don't have any windows, I'll just use some planks with that log going across the very bottom. And that gives us a very simple wall, very undecorated, but I think we can fix that with a little bit of mangrove right in front of our spruce beam so that it has a nice contrast in the back. I think it really needs that because it's so red. Having something really dark behind it I think helps it a lot. And then I'll do mostly the same thing on this side, but I'm going to make room for at least a couple of windows. Starting on the 2 wide ones, because it is an even shape, I'm using the stairs as the tops. And then of course, who guessed it, some shelf blocks for the sides. And now for this big window in the middle, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm still going to use the stairs, but I'm going to have a slab in the middle, and then we'll come down here for a little bit more of a curved type of window. It's not a complete circle, it's kind of keeping with that arched theme. And then this is actually one of the rare builds where I actually use glass for the windows, because once this is done we'll have a great view of the village below. So if I use trapdoors or grates or anything, that would have blocked it quite a bit. That's not to say that we won't use those things later on, it'll just be in windows that we won't actually be looking out of a whole lot. And I've now realized that I really need to put a floor in here, and to keep it on the safe, neutral type side, I'm going to just use a whole bunch of spruce logs, I think. Let's see, I'm also going to do a sneaky little window in this side. Since we have this glass block right here, we can just throw on a couple of shelves where that spruce log is to make it look like it's fully framed in. And yeah, now that's a little bit of something to break up this wall. The other thing, of course, will be the doorway. Doing this, which is now the only way that I'm going to make doors. I haven't tested if snow golems don't like to walk out of these, but I'm kind of assuming they're like villagers and they won't want to. And yeah, I think I'll do a fancy dark oak door on this one, because even though this is on a mountain and kind of secluded, it is fancier than a lot of the other things that I've built. Okay, so now I'm going to start the actual fireplace here. Obviously using some bricks, and then it is going to be kind of in an awkward-ish little corner here. So we'll have the actual campfire be right there, and then I guess some walls on each side, that way you can still see into it, and then just kind of filling in the rest of this. And something like that I think will work. Now the chimney will extend all the way up, but I need to actually put the roof on before I can do that. There's also a couple of blocks out here that I really needed for the fireplace, but they look a little bit awkward. So I'm just gonna really sneakily cover them up with some shelves, because I don't think it looks too out of place like that, especially once we get our mangrove fences on here, to kind of distract the eye a little bit. And even though no one will ever walk behind here, I think I'll just continue the chimney into the base a little bit by just adding a couple bits of red terracotta as a nice subtle little shadow block right there. But now for the roof block palette, I'm going to attempt to go from green terracotta to snow. And to do that, I'm going to use some pale oak planks, because they are quite a lot darker than snow, and I think if I use bamboo next to that, it's still very, very harsh, but I think it'll be okay once we kind of get it all down. And then I can just go from moss to wool to green terracotta pretty easily, but I think it'll all come together, so let's try it. Okay, so I think this is now looking a lot more like a wintry cottage. I don't think that the snow and the bamboo contrast too much, especially when we're really going to be mostly looking at it from down in the village. It'll really just look like snow falling on the roof. And to fill the remaining hole in our roof, I can go ahead and fill the rest of this in with our bricks. For a smaller, kind of simple little chimney that curves inwards with the roof a little bit. Now I've also added some windows in there, and you might have noticed a little bit of a plant box, and that's where we're going to use our sweet berries that we got earlier. I have easy access right now because I haven't actually put in the window up here, but now that those are in, I'm going to add the trapdoors for this window, which is not very easy to do in scaffolding. Mangrove trapdoors generally aren't great for windows. Ouch. But in this case, I think it works out because it's such a small window. And again, it'll really only be seen at an angle like this. So this is kind of one of the rare occasions where it works out. And I can't really fit any actual plant boxes down here, but I'll use some spruce leaves to create a similar effect. And also, I wanted to do my icicle trick that I'm hoping will work out decently well. I think if we use a combination of real fences and the fence gates, it should look like kind of varying sizes of icicles almost. Because the fence looks a little bit weird, but we do have the fence gates that look like very, very small ones. So if I just do this along all of the sides, and even up here I'll do a couple of fence gates, and probably only fence gates, because they're further away, so they kind of should look a little bit smaller, I think. And this is not a great spot for looking at this house from. But yeah, I think that looks like icicles, right? It's not exactly perfect, but I think it works out pretty well. And oh my gosh, there are goats behind there. I do need goats. Perhaps I should get them now before they kind of wander too far away. Let's see, oh my gosh, is that a donkey? That must be one of mine that escaped. I really hope I didn't go searching for donkeys all last episode when they're able to spawn up here. Let's see. Oh no, it is one of mine, okay. I've really just been letting them loose as I've been testing them and discarding them. Listen, it's better than the alternative, right? Anyways, we're here for goats. You, sir, can come with me. You've got both your horns. Careful though, the ice is quite slippery. Oh, like that. Oh, you're fine. I forgot you're a goat. Okay, I don't really have a proper pasture for you. And you're also quite hard to contain, so I think I'm gonna just tie you to a fence for a second. Right around front here. There you go. Maybe I'll pause the construction of the main structure and actually get the goat pen in. Oh my gosh, he's already jumped up to the windowsill. What the heck, you guys? Okay, well, I've got a lot of stairs to make a nice roofed-in enclosure, because I think that's the best way to keep you from doing things like this. So yeah, that and a couple of fence gates, I think. Okay, if I kind of fence this off here, I'm realizing this isn't the most free-range goat pen, but you guys will get used to it, right? I'm going to have a very, very steep roof on your enclosure so you can still jump a little bit without escaping containment. I mean, you guys are a little bit crazy, you know? Like that, see? You keep doing that. Okay, I do actually need you to get back in the pen now, please. Don't try it. Can't do it, right? Now you guys are pretty well contained, I think. Although, can you jump out of one block? You guys would tell me if you could jump out of one block, right? I think so. Oh, and you know what I should do? I should change this all to, I think, smooth deep slate, or I guess just deep slate. Because I think if they crash into a naturally occurring block, that's when they drop the goat horns. Not that they're really useful in a single player world, but it would still be cool for decoration. And I'll also let you guys off the leads, since I'm going to be in the area for a little bit. Actually, you know what? This is probably going to be a problem, isn't it? Alright, let me just do that. That should be good. Right, and then maybe I'll switch out this wall as well with some deep slate. That way you guys have a nice running track for it. Ow, oh, that was so close. Can't believe I'm just standing in a pen waiting to get headbutted by goats. Oh my gosh, you guys are so quick. That was a little intimidating. Wait, he's doing it again? Oh no. Maybe it wasn't full speed, or maybe it's only a certain chance that they do it. Oh my gosh, it's snowing outside. That's cozy. No, you can't come, I'm sorry. That's so nice. It is kind of right on the edge, so it's also a little bit rainy, but mostly snowy. It's a shame I've left holes in my house, but I was busy dealing with goats. That reminds me, I did want to use a little bit of this snow falling to my advantage, because I brought some white carpet, and I thought that if I did one on every other block, then eventually the snow will be a little bit higher than that, and it'll create kind of a wavy pattern on top of here, because I think the snow only goes to like 2 layers high, so like it'll be kind of decently higher than the carpet. Oh yeah, you can already see it's kind of doing it. Ideally it'd be a little bit higher than that once it gets more layers, but that's still so nice. It's all getting covered now, especially from inside. I mean, I know we're mostly looking out at unsnowy areas, but you still get a sheet of snow between here and there, and even down on our village it looks so nice. I mean, don't mind my bed and my chest and everything, ignore that part, but everything else. You know what, maybe instead of fixing the holes in our house right now, I'll spawn the snow golems in. There we go. I think I'll have one sheared and one not, because I like his little face. Whereas this guy looks a little bit scary over here. It's really quite a pair they are, almost like an old married couple, sitting in their cozy cabin on the mountaintop. I didn't think about it, but I don't know if they like torches or not. I mean, I know torches melt snow, but I did bring some copper ones. I don't know that that makes any difference, but they don't seem to mind it so far. I know as soon as I sleep, the snow and the rain will go away, but I am a little bit afraid of monsters spawning. Yeah, it's gone. And actually, maybe I'll make a little bit of green carpet to place along the floor here, and maybe we'll checker it with some moss, just because we can't have it be too cold in here. But now, to finish the walls of this place, I'll start off with a little bit more of our oak wood, just, you know, keeping it consistent, and this will kind of frame in our window for us. I'll line it using some dark oak shelves, because it gives us a little bit of a different wood color that'll help it stand out from everything else we've used so far, and then I'll fill it in with some copper grates, keeping them in the greenish type of stage. That way they're almost a little bit teal, which kind of complements everything as well. And now I need a little bit of coarse dirt, because I do want another plant box on here, but I won't put the sweet berries in there quite yet because we haven't finished building, and I don't want to die to a bush today. See, this is going to be kind of the overhang part, so I'm going to use some stairs. There we go, all covered over, and now I need to just shovel off my porch a little bit, because I want a fancy sort of railing to go here, and I'm going to use more of our shelves for that. And because trapdoors I think are going to be too thick to really put on there, they'll block a lot of the view that we have. Instead, I'm going to use carpet, like we did on our pathway down there, because it is a lot thinner, I think, than the trapdoors, so we have a lot more space to look out and really appreciate the Minecraft landscape. But you know what, to cover up this dirt, I will use some trapdoors. And now if you remember, I did get some buttons of various colors, because I wanted to do some Christmas lights somewhere along this build. And I was just gonna alternate them along here because you can make them kind of face in different directions. So by just doing that, I can get one of each color along here. I was thinking it would be cool if they would repeat, but I don't have a lot of space to do that. And I might have to change out the fences because I thought copper torches could serve as our green light here because we don't have any green buttons, and it would also kind of connect it to the wall. I don't know if it looks a little bit weird. But, you know, I think it does get the point across, right? It's very colorful, at least. And then if we wanted to, we could also do it in here, maybe. I'll do a copper torch on each end. And then it is the same length, so they don't repeat at all. But I think that's pretty cute, right? Snowmen can climb scaffolding? That doesn't feel like a thing they should do. What are you doing up there, bud? Are you having a fun time? That's good. It's just a happy Christmas house, right? I will have to take this down though, this was not part of the permanent furniture in here. Oh no, now he's gone higher. Actually, wait, you can escape through there. Please don't escape. I didn't finish the other side, I'm sorry. Oh hey, he got down from the scaffolding by himself. What a good golem. Okay, I think those are decent Christmas lights. This side is a little bit hard to see because of the glass, but I think it gives some nice lighting in this room as well. And I think it's so cozy having this place be lit just by Christmas lights and the fireplace. But the atmosphere would be a little bit more complete if I actually finished that, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Okay, so now I think the house is fully complete. On this side you can see I also added a few more icicles and some hanging plants, just a little bit. And inside is looking a lot more cozy and filled in, even though there is a lot of snow on the ground, which is a little bit intentional because now I can just farm it like that. And then I brought along a couple of my extra copper chests that I have, because I think they look like the custom present ones that they do in the winter, even though they aren't quite, but I thought they would still be good decorations. And also I don't think any copper golems should ever make it this far up here to be confused by them. And I can even store all of my extra snow in here now. I'll also reinforce the windows a little bit with some dark oak stairs. And you know what, maybe I'll make a little seat for each of them. This also will help keep a lot of snow off the floor, except for in places where I can farm it like that. Yeah, I think that's cute, right? They each have a place by the fire. Or maybe I'll move this one actually, right over here. That way it's a little bit closer. And then perhaps another shelf along here. Preferably one they wouldn't be able to jump onto, so I guess just to that point. And I'll put a couple of flowers on here. I also thought it would be cool to do some paintings. So let's just shear one sheep, and the amount of wool it gives me will be the number of paintings that I'm allowed to put in it. You know what, of course, you gave me only one. Okay, for a finishing touch, maybe along this wall, I'll try to find a good wintry themed one. That one is definitely not very wintry. I mean, that's kind of wintry-ish. Maybe we'll stick with that one. I mean, it's got a little bit of fire, right? If it's alongside the fireplace. And yeah, I think that's perfectly cozy in here now. The snow golems seem to be happy with their new home. Oh my gosh, and he's sitting in his little chair. I do have a little bit of work left to do outside here as well. I want to visit my goats once again. Listen guys, you're not in jail, you're just not allowed to leave. But I will give you a little bit of light, just to be nice. Let's also finish the path, or rather reconstruct the path. It did get paved over with dirt and then covered in snow. I was thinking about doing a different color for the path, but I think anything else would get immediately covered by snow, so instead the vanilla pathing will have to do. Oh, ow. The heck? These guys are so rude. I'm just trying to make your pen more visibly pleasing. Okay, I think that's a little better, right? I know you guys don't really care. And you know what, I really can't resist it. I'm just gonna put one firefly bush here. I was thinking it would be cool to use these pale moss saplings, or pale oak saplings, to decorate around, because they won't actually grow if there's just one of them. And they really do fit very well in the snowy biome. But maybe I'll just have like a couple, like one right there, and then very subtly hidden around here. And then also maybe a couple of these pale leaves, so they give a little bit of life to the area without being too overpowering. Oh, and actually another thing, I did bring some bookshelves to decorate with. Not that I think these guys can really read, no offense. But you know what, maybe above these windows here, I'm now rich enough where I can just decorate with these. I say that, but I've ran out. But it's fine, at least walking in, it looks good, right? It's kind of a small detail, but I think it also does tie in with the Christmas lights. But yeah, now with that, I think the interior is officially finished. But one last thing to do before I go is a donkey update. I've been breeding them and I've got them down to, actually this sign is incorrect. It should say 49 kelp as the official speed measurement, and you can tell they are getting quite fast. Nowhere near their max value, but we're getting there. I just have to check. Animals have been getting into this track here and kind of messing things up, but here we go. Let's see. Oh, 47. Oh, he jumped on the pressure plate again. Alright, well it was 47. The main point I've actually been struggling on is the jump. I haven't gotten it to go above 2 blocks yet, but speed is the main focus, so we can worry about the jumping later. And yeah, also don't mind my totally legit jumper tester. I really should make a more official looking thing. I just needed a half slab and I really only had bamboo, surprisingly. I probably could make this spruce and it would be a little bit better. You know what, maybe I'll just set it up over here really quick. Let's see, we'll have 2 blocks, 2.5, and then 3. But yeah, with that, I think it's been a wild success. And now we also have a Christmas house at the top of the hill there. But yeah, with that, I think that is all of the time that I have for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.